Hi there, this is called the king flush and it's in the Nimzowitsch variation of the Sicilian. e4 is met by the Sicilian c5, and after knight f3, rather than play e6 or knight c6 or d6, we're looking at this move, knight f6 here. This is the Nimzowitsch variation of the Sicilian, where the knight immediately attacks the pawn on e4 and urges it to come and get me by playing e5, similar to the Alekhine defense. White can play e5, alternatively can defend with knight c3, to which black stabs at the center with d5. After e takes on d5 and knight takes on d5, white could play d4 here, or play this nice provocative move which I like, knight e5. Black might trade minor pieces. Knight takes on c3, perhaps disrupting white's pawn structure, since after b takes on c3, the square vacated by the knight can be occupied by the queen, with queen d5 now hitting at the knight on e5. Rather than move the knight, bishop b5, check, and black would probably do best to play knight c6 here. Might get doubled pawns, but that's going to give him very active play. If instead the more conservative knight d7, then white will defend the knight on e5 with queen e2, and we've reached an interesting position. Perhaps the more cautious conservative players here for black might just simply play a6, whereas the more adventurous might grab that pawn on offer on g2. That's the line we're looking at now. Queen takes g2. Nothing really wrong with taking that, hitting the rook on h1. But white gets tremendous active play by surrendering that rook on h1 and playing queen d3. Now the knight on d7 is being hit 3 times. Well, in this position, black will take on h1, check, sending the king to e2, and now black has to think defensively. Well, any top grandmaster would be excused for missing black's best strategic defense here, which is actually to move the king to d8 and then to c7. That just looks suicidal, although that's black's best idea. If instead a move like e6, then we'll see black is busted in all variations. White will continue, bishop takes on d7, check. And after king e7, of course, black dare not take. Bishop takes d7, queen takes d7 is mate. So king e7 is going to be met by bishop takes on c8, and it's game over here. Black should really just move the queen back and admit defeat. If instead he battles on with rook takes c8, we might see a variation like this, where the black king is flushed out into the center. Queen d7 check, king f6, queen takes f7, giving up the knight on e5, and now d4 with tempo hitting the king. King d5 can be met by queen takes on b7. If the king moves to c4 here, then queen b3 looks like mate. If the rook interposes on c6, then c4 is going to pick up the rook. King takes on c4, but it doesn't pick up the rook, of course, because the queen is defending it, excuse me. But queen b3 is sending the king to d4. King's going to take on d4, and after bishop e3, now the bishop's out with a tempo, meaning the queen is under fire on h1, and there's no immediate mating threat. But after king e5, white will pick up the queen with a comfortable winning advantage here for white. So this has been called the king flush in the Nimzowitsch variation of the Sicilian. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.